So welcome to the T2 Hubcast with me, Martin Johnson.
And myself, Scott Morrison.
How are you doing?
I'm very well,
Have you got your series face on now?
Good.
Good, we're good to go. So we are going to record a short video at the request of both clients and partners. What is T2? We've grown significantly over the years, and I think it was a little bit around about who are we? Why do we exist? What's the value? All of that wonderful stuff. So I've roped Scott in because Scott has been in T2 now
9 months?
9 months. I've obviously been in since the start, which is 8 years. So two ends of the spectrum, and it'd just be really good for us to maybe debate at where are we at now? Who are we? What do we do? What's the value of that? And what do we see as the purpose behind it? So James is off camera. He's going to steer us in a direction so we can piece this up. What's first, James?
Okay, so first up is who are we? So who are T2?
Who are we? Who are we, Scott?
I thought you were asking me the question.
Yeah. Well, no. Obviously, T2, we started off as Trans2 Performance Limited. That was the entity, and we was called Trans2 Performance for the first 2 years. And what happened organically is everybody just shortened it to T2. And it just happened. It never really was planned. It just happened. So a few years back, we just rebranded. We're still Trans2 Performance, but we trade as T2, the People Performance People. Now, the People Performance People element answers the question. If there was one, I think, descriptor of what it is we do, we help people perform better. And we're the people to do that, right? Everything we do, we underpin with psychology of why we think, feel, act, and behave the way we do, the way the brain functions, and how that then plays out in terms of self-awareness, behaviors, group dynamics, teamwork, organizations, culture, all of that wonderful stuff. So I think T2 are ultimately a high-performance consultancy, and our primary role is to work with human beings, people and teams to improve overall performance. Now, that's my sort of maybe deluded version of it. Scott, you've been in 9 months. Does that sort of feel like that to you?
Yeah, 100%. I've been here for 9 months, but I've been following the journey from day dot. We've gone back many years ourselves. We got you in originally with an organisation I worked for back in the day to do the print profile with the senior leadership team back then, which was around 7 to 8 years ago. And that was involving print, the human iceberg, leading yourself essentially. And I, along with everybody in my team, found that amazing. And it opened the doors to so many different ways of thinking and moving the individual forward on their journey, but also their leadership journey, their personal journey, but also how they interacted with the team around them, the people around them, how to receive information, how to, what's the best word, to transmit communication. It just opened so many doors. It's a massive, massive insight to how you can be a better version of yourself in one day. So imagine how, as an organization, when we work with our partners and these other organizations and take them through all of these different pillars, how that can sort of develop, take them on a journey, not just as an individual, but as a group, if we deliver it correctly and get the right minds involved.
Yeah. Really interesting for me to hear that. And because, I forgot that before joining T2, you experienced it as a client, which was on the other side of the fence. If I simplify it, I always try and articulate to people that, and it's probably already going into the second question, James. So just ask me that one and I'll link it in.
So there you go. The second question is, what do we do?
Yeah. So what do we do, right? I think we do two things. When you think about human performance and people and teams, I think we do two things. When people work with us and engage with us, whether it's in a room, one-to-one, webinars, online, virtual, whatever it might be, I think we're doing one of two things, if not both. We're either holding the mirror up to people.
Yeah.
So we're holding the mirror up and saying, look, let's have a little look at who you are, because you are who you are. We know that through your formative years, your brain development, your parental influence, where you grew up, your experience in the job world, your school years, everything contributes to who you are. All we're doing at this point is we're holding the mirror up and giving you some conscious information and ideas of what that looks like. And I think that self-awareness piece is incredibly important.
Yeah.
I always describe the second thing we do as it's like we're also giving them a map. And we're saying, if you want to go forward and you want to reach your destination and you want to get to places, that's how to do it. So we're giving them new information on top of the self-awareness stuff to get to where they want to be. And I think that's what we do, isn't it, at T2? You know, we do that in a like a varied amount of ways, whether it's our online platform, whether it's working with groups, whether it's doing team builders off site, whether it's events, whatever it might be, personal coaching. But we're either saying, look, let's have a little look at you and hold the mirror up and give you all the information we can that's going to be useful for you. Or let's give you a map and some direction of how you can get to your destination or where you want to be. And I think that's the simplest way I probably describe it. And I'd also say at this point is like when it comes to learning and development and stuff that we do, it's not for everybody, first of all. Some people come in, we have three types of delegate, don't we? We have the delegate who comes in going, I can't wait. Let's get going. I've been waiting for this day. I'm an avid reader. I love watching your videos and your podcasts. I love self-development. I'm ready to go.
Jumping at the bit.
They're the best types of delegate, right? Then you have your second one where they go, I'm slightly apprehensive and I've been on a load of training courses where it's been rubbish, but I'm going to reserve judgment.
Yeah.
I'm maybe willing to come with you if it's a value to me, right? And you think, okay, that's fine. That's quite a lot of people, if I'm honest. And then you get your third type of delegate, don't you, or client who goes, I don't want to be here. It's a load of rubbish. I am who I am. It's served me well this far. Why do I need to listen to any of this? How is it going to help me? Now, obviously, I made a comment a minute ago that delegate is the best delegate. I'm not so sure it is. I love the third type of delegate when we turn them around. And when actually that fixed mindset of, I can't learn anything, it's all a load of rubbish. Why should I engage? And then at the end of the program or the process, they've had a complete U-turn. They've been open, they've contributed, and they shake your hand and they thank you. They're the greatest wins. And I think that's what I exist for, doing this, to try and get them.
Yeah.
Because the middle ground, quite often, we're very good at what we do. We can take them with us. The first group are already with us. So we've always got the majority of the group because we're good at what we do. Mm-hmm. But it's the wins in this third column that I really like.
Their response and their reactions to us as the day goes on, when you see the light bulb flick and the penny drop and the moment, and then you engage with them on it and you draw them back into the room, you get them to communicate that bit different, and they're well received as well by the group because they already know at the start of the day they're standoffish.
Yeah.
So the group's quite welcoming as well. So that brings everything back in for a good open debate.
Yeah, for sure. Third question, James.
But then finally, and this is maybe rounding it all off, is why is it important?
Why is what we do important?
Yeah.
Many reasons. Well, if you think about our mission here at T2, you know, we absolutely want to develop the people of today, the leaders of tomorrow, and the organizations of the future. That's our strapline. It's our mission statement. And that's a really powerful thing, isn't it? Because if we can influence, let's take the people element, the people of today. How many times do we get an email or some feedback on a form or a message on LinkedIn or whatever it is saying, you've changed my life?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not under-egging that. That's what happens. And for me, when I don't think anybody makes a statement like that unless they somewhat mean it or think it.
No one makes that statement lightly. They're not going to bump into you in the street. You're often from different ends of the UK, so it's not like they're your friends. Do you get what I'm saying? So that type of comment is heartfelt. It's factual. It's meaningful.
And then you'll see them 2-3 years later, and they'll be in a room, or they'll say, "I still remember when I read your book, or when I was in that session, or when I watched you do that talk, and I still remember that thing you said today, and it stays with me, and it's changed my life." That for me is like, is there a more powerful thing or a more impactful thing you can do as a job to help someone have that realization of what's serving me well, what's not, what I can possibly do, or just get the motivation to start pushing forward in whatever it is they want to achieve? That's an incredibly powerful thing. So I think if you strip our mission statement down, developing the people of today, for me, is about we have the potential to change people's lives and their mindsets and whatever it is that they're struggling with. And that's can be a burden, but it can be an incredible thing to be a part of. The second element is the leaders of tomorrow. Now, again, this is where it transforms from us affecting people's lives individually into the ripple effect of us working with leaders and have the amount of other people that affects and touches. So if we can improve a leader's self-awareness, a leader's ability to manage challenges and conflicts and whatever it might be, or be more motivational or understand people's purposes more, then the ripple effect of that is that they're going to do a better job, which then affects another dozen people's lives.
Yeah, which ripples continue.
The ripples continue, right? And then the final bit of that mission statement, which is in the organizations of the future, now we're getting even bigger on a macro level.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, we can affect individuals' lives. We can develop great leaders and make workplaces of the future an amazing thing. But organizationally, right, if we can help organizations cater for things like future generations, diversity, equality, and inclusion, amazing cultures,
Yeah.
places that reward and recognize, if we have that impact, then that's the utopia. So I don't know if you're seeing that in your early days, Scott. I'm sure you are, even on the individual and leadership level. But the strap line is not just something we've come up with in a room. I think the value, to answer your question, James, of what we do lies in the fact that everything we design and deliver, every engagement, every customer we work with, we are trying to develop the people of today and change lives. We're trying to develop the leaders, of the future, and we're trying to create organizations, right, which are going to be amazing places to work for time to come. And I think if we can do that, that's surely the value of it.